VidIQ.
VidIQ.
VidIQ.com.
And I forgot to unmute my microphone. Dan, you actually told me in that list to unmute my microphone, and I forgot to do it. So I'm going to start with the intro once again. He's now laughing in the background, and he's trying not to laugh on camera so that nobody hears it. What I actually said was, stay hydrated. But it's completely lost its effect now. I am just so stupid. I'm stupid every single week. I make a mistake. But our wonderful guests are not going to make a mistake when I bring them on stage now. And those include Dan, of course. So I'll welcome you in first since I've just mentioned you by name. Say hello to the audience.
Well, hello.
And also in-house, we got Travis here as well, auditing as usual.
Hopefully you can hear me.
We can definitely hear Travis. All right, let's do the proper introductions. Welcome to VidIQ, the YouTube tool and channel that aims to educate you on your YouTube journey. And every single Tuesday morning, what we do is we audit your channels. And by that, we take a look and we give you the best possible feedback we can on all of the things that we've got going on here with your channels and aim to improve them. Dan, I want you to do a couple of shout outs for our wonderful audience because I just noticed that I've got a little technical glitch on my screen and I'm going to fix it while you do some shout outs.
All right. First of all, thanks to everybody for complimenting that loading bar because that took a lot of time.
That was Dan's work. It was. Yeah.
Sammy is here. I see Zach Games, Fire Raptor, Jan Go, VR Lad, Whatever Potter, YM, YWHY. So YM. Dragon Plays, Apple O, Jack's channel. That's pretty forward. Raven Swanson. It's not moving too bad today. Toxic BG. But I'll pretend it's going too fast and I can't read it anymore, so someone else can return.
so that Travis now fills in.
Logan, Andy, Morphus. We got Bragan. Now it's starting to go. Greenlight from Dreamer to Filmmaker. That's a long name right there. Let's see. Outbound Gaming, Toxic BG, Generic Waffle. I know Tish is out there. I saw her earlier. And it looks like, okay. Well, look, settle down, people. So many.
Yeah, it's going really fast now as Travis has now moved to the cityscape. Something's going really well. On the left-hand side, there's like a black line, like a border, as if I've moved the entire live stream over to one side. And I have no idea how I've done that. And I'm going to try and fix that at some point. But anyway, I'm going to say hello to the following people that include the Kid Prodigy, Greenlight, we've already said hello to you, Cyberclip, BTN4, Play Button Maker is also here, Brendan Walters, Andy Morphs, It's Exploring with Riley, BB Tutorials, PXR and VR Lad, and so many other people joining us here in the live stream. Thank you very much. And we are hoping to give you some awesome stuff here throughout this live stream. We've also got our first super chat in already of the day, and that goes to, we had actually one It's Exploring with Riley, who sent us £1 30 minutes ago before the live stream even started. So thank you very much for that. And in the grind, this is one of the best chats. Keep grinding, everybody. Absolutely. We're all in the grind, but we're all in this awesome YouTube journey. All right, let me try and explain exactly what happens every single week here for your channel audits. Take a look at this little introduction. VidIQ channel audits are all about helping you become better YouTubers. To submit your channel for possible review, in the video description of this live stream, there is a link that will take you to this simple form. Fill it out, and prior to the stream, we will pick out several channels for review. Channel audits are free. We offer them as part of the VidIQ YouTube service, and we can't be bribed. While super chats are always welcome, they will not buy you a channel audit. We do not want to create a financial barrier to this weekly community get-together. The live chat exists so that you can all converse with the community. Don't ask for channel audits. During a live stream, the hosts don't have time to read them, and moderators will put you in timeout. And speaking of moderators, I wanted to personally thank each and every one of you for supporting us every single week to make sure that this show gets up and running. It really is appreciated. We get hundreds of submissions every single week, and unfortunately we can't audit every channel. To ensure your channel has a fair chance each week, we purged a list, and after we audit pre-selected channels, we randomly choose which channels get audited. We only have so much time in a day to audit your channels, but if you download the VidIQ extension, our 24/7 channel audit tool will offer you tailored advice specific to your YouTube channel. If you haven't already done so, download VidIQ for free today. A link is in the video description. If you submit your channel, expect constructive criticism. We assume you want to grow your audience on YouTube, and that is what our advice is based on. Appreciate that we are viewing your channel for the first time. If we get something wrong, we didn't do it on purpose. It may be that your messaging and branding isn't doing the job it's supposed to do. And make sure to listen to the advice we give to all channels, not just yours. Test everything. Some strategies will work better for some channels, whilst it won't work for some channels at all. Always review the data YouTube gives you and then test again. We always appreciate it when you click on the thumbs up button. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell so that you know when we next go live. And do us a favour, folks, if you do find this live stream useful, share it with at least one other video creator who you think could benefit from our advice. Are you ready? Let's do this. And that's how the VidIQ Tuesday channel audit streams work. One more thing, as well as randomly selecting from the list that you're all filling out right now, we have around about 150 submissions already this week, which is incredible. Thank you very much. We also want you to share this live stream on Twitter, and it works a little bit like this. So, we have claimed hashtag channel audits on Twitter for our own. So what I would like you to do right now is, if you want another chance of having your channel randomly selected, well, not randomly selected, I'll get to that in a second. If you tweet the live stream URL and your channel URL along with hashtag channel audits, and then something that stops us from scrolling through the feed and entertaining us, you may get selected. And what we mean by that is, last week we had lots of awesome submissions, and we had this one here that says, you told me I was going to get a channel audit today, but you're arguing with a cat that is eating salad. That is a brilliant tweet, and we would select that type of thing. So start tweeting now, and around about 20 minutes, Travis, myself, and Dan will all randomly pick one of these tweets, and you will have your channel audited. But just to remind you, the channel stream, this link here, and that is what you're watching right now, hashtag channel audits, and your channel's URL so that we can easily pick it. And with all that being said, now I need to press some buttons to make sure that my compadres here can see what I'm sharing on screen. Dan and Travis, can you confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and now I'm going to confirm that people can see that we are now transitioning to the audits for this Tuesday. The first channel we are going to look at is the one that is always the first person to submit every single week. Once we purge the list and I put the live stream publicly live, usually on a Mondays around about lunchtime, the first person to submit their channel audit actually gets audited. And this channel this week is Draconix8 DG. This looks to be a gaming channel. So Dan, we're going to start off with you on this one. What are your thoughts on what is a bit of a mouthful of a channel name to pronounce?
Well, upon reviewing this channel just a tiny bit before we started, I determined via scientific deduction that this must be a Minecraft channel, but not from the channel banner, from rather the thumbnails.
Yeah.
And it would seem, just by looking at it, that there's kind of a mix of things going on here. There looks to be some gameplay videos, but there also looks to be some videos that are live streams, and they seem to use the Minecraft Hypixel thumbnail for every single live stream. And that's that. We've talked about this before. For live streams, it may not really matter because you get those views kind of in the moment. But what I would say is that naming each and every one of those Minecraft Hypixel might be kind of a missed opportunity. Hypixel is kind of a server where you can play mini games and do things like that. So whatever you're doing on the server that day, that'd be my first piece of advice. Make that kind of the centerpiece of the title. So
some sort of intention of what you're going to do within the Hypixel minigame, so to speak.
Right.
Even if it doesn't turn out like that, it could be like you're setting yourself a challenge, whatever that is, and that'll be the headline for the live stream on that particular day.
Right. And otherwise, it's a nice thumbnail that you're using and eye-catching for sure. But I don't really know what I'm getting into. A lot of people stream on that server. So what are you doing that other people might not be doing that day? And other than that, I think across the board, the thumbnails that are not those could probably use some sprucing up. There's really no background to say the Minecraft thumbnail, the latest one there. There's a wither boss. I recognize that, but there's a lot of opportunity, a lot of negative space that you could be utilizing. This is the case in a lot of thumbnails. The Undertale one doesn't really say much. So there's a lot you can do in terms of thumbnails. And then it would seem as you scroll down a bit, the content's kind of all over the place. Papers, Please, 60 seconds. I don't know what that game is. Fortnite. So I would also say, and maybe you're starting to do this with Minecraft, but maybe niche down your content because that could definitely help your views. Figure out what your audience has responded really well to, and maybe consider niching down for a little bit. And let's see.
I'd say for a new channel like this, we do have some how to start gaming channel content now on VidIQ, done expertly by yourself. So definitely this creator and any other starting out on their YouTube journey may want to check those out. And yeah, the creator is just trying to find their way a little bit, and they seem to be narrowing down on Minecraft yet. They just haven't really had that breakthrough piece of content, have they, just yet?
Just yet.
All right, thank you for that one then, Dan, and that's basically how the channel audits work every single week if you are new here. So if you found that useful, make sure to give us a thumbs up and share this live stream with others who may find it useful, and you may get selected soon, and unfortunately I have misplaced my next channel notification bell. I'm going to try and find it in a second, but the next channel we are looking at is the Regular Chef, who does new videos every Tuesdays, most of the time. I don't know why, but that reminds me of the scene in Aliens where Newt says the aliens come out at night, mostly. Mostly. I don't know why, that just came into my mind. Anyway, the Regular Chef. Travis, what do you think of the thumbnails? That's, I think, where we're going to start with this channel.
Close. The idea behind them is close. So, A, you probably don't need any of the text on it. And B, the saturation needs to go way up. So I've done a couple of consultations with like food channels, not very recently actually. One last night with a guy who does like barbecues and stuff, and I had to show him the difference between like his thumbnails and the ones that are ranking in search. So if you were to do a search for like homemade hamburgers,
let's do that. Yeah,
and I bet what you're going to find is a bunch of close-up, make me want to eat it right now thumbnails. Well, if you want to eat raw, sure. But like the best burger ever, I think this thing is flowing everywhere. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these are showing the raw meat. So let's try like barbecue. I know for a fact. Look up barbecue ribs. I looked at this last night.
BBQ ribs, that type of thing. Yeah, okay.
Kind of an easier show of this. So boom, everything's big. It's beautiful. You want to eat it right then and there. No text necessary. Really, to be honest, like the image itself should be the selling point. You shouldn't need any text. Some of these are beautiful. So just zooming in on your food would be, I think, a really good idea as far as a lot of the thumbnails go. And now I'm hungry again already. But I love the idea. I love the little comedy. So is this, I wonder, like, remember that one channel a couple of months ago we watched, and they were really funny, like the entire video. And I think the banner had like a funny thing about it. I wonder if that's funny too.
They had like sort of little innuendos.
Yeah, it was really funny. So the most of the time thing implies to me, and with the kind of animated thing, that it might be kind of humorous, which I'm all about. So I don't know if that's the case here or not. If it is, cool. I'm totally down for that. But really, from a thumbnail standpoint, really the only thing you need to do is zoom in more, get rid of the text, and bump up the saturation a little bit.
Yeah. I'm just looking at some of the view counts here because they've cracked 1,000 subscribers, which for the number of videos is fantastic, and have been around for 3 months. It looks as if when they were zeroing in on a bit of trending topics like the best roasted chicken and like cranberry sauce for holiday, Brussels sprouts, they were doing really well. And now I guess maybe they're in a period of non-trending food type of year where they're maybe struggling to find what to make next. And I think it's probably too late now, or if you're already thinking of doing this, some sort of Super Bowl type video would really help if you can get out by Friday, because there's going to be people searching for Super Bowl snack time type of stuff right now. And if you can have a really powerful, punchy thumbnail, maybe it can incorporate like some Kansas City cheese, or who's the other, the 49er hamburger, or something like that, to give it a bit of keyword enticing enrichment as well. That might help you.
To give you
Chicken
an idea,
wings.
To give you an idea of like the search volume for a Super Bowl weekend last year, I'm doing it again this year. Last year, I did a search on a particular type of video for Super Bowl time that I knew people would be searching for, and there really wasn't any. So I made a video, I released it on Saturday morning, and by Sunday morning, it had 80,000 views on it.
Yeah.
So the amount of people searching for specific things is immense this coming up weekend, especially if you can somehow make it Super Bowl related. So I 100% agree with you on that.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've proven here, like this first rack of videos, unless maybe you may have done some paid advertising on these as well, just looking at the engagement rate, 18,000 views versus less than 100 likes. So there could be something along the lines there that's inflating the views a little bit. Nothing necessarily wrong with that, but growing a channel organically, you're going to be getting more views like this to begin with. But yeah, certainly tying it into trending events. Dan, Travis cut you off. I'm hoping this is the best chicken wings suggestion you're about to make. Go.
I cut him off. I'm sorry. Super Bowl and chicken wings go hand in hand. So any kind of wings you make, that's just my Super Bowl choice for food.
So homemade chicken wings for Super Bowl 54, is it? Maybe? Yeah, I don't.
Sports.
for Super Bowl sports. That is the regular chef end. And congratulations. I mean, we're sort of looking at what you can improve, but for, less than 15 videos and already 1,000 subscribers and some what look to be breakthrough videos and fantastic thumbnails already. I think, just tweaking the thumbnails saturation-wise and text-wise. I think it's definitely worth testing without text, because every single thumbnail so far has text on, so maybe test without. But some promising stuff there. As we move on to the next channel, which is Freedom Saga. Your path to freedom starts here. Looking at the thumbnails, this suggests to me that this is trying to create some sort of, I'm guessing, financial freedom. That's kind of where I feel like I'm going with this, because it got fast track to online business and profits and that type of thing. So I feel as if you may want to enforce that a little bit more on your banner, because I don't know, from the book, it might trick you into it being educational freedom or a freedom of another kind. Just be really clear in your value proposition. And then thumbnail wise, I think this creator is just, as they've started out on YouTube in the first 6 months, they're just experimenting with their thumbnails right now, finding out which of the best type of thumbnails to use. Travis, we looked in depth at the channel last week. I've forgotten what the name of the channel was. Something like the Millionaire Success Story, where they had these really bright, vibrant thumbnails, super colourful, always referencing the amount of money you can save or earn. And I feel as if this creator, such as turn dollars into $300 daily online, that's one of your breakout videos with 2,000 views. That's the type of enticement that your content is going to need. I think, Travis, you picked this one, so any further to add here?
One of the reasons that I picked it is if you go to the homepage to see how underutilized it is.
Oh, yeah, nothing there right now.
So I talk about this fairly often, and we've been forgetting to check this, but I think it's super important. So anywhere between 80 to 90% of the people that are going to end up on your homepage are people that are trying to decide whether or not they even want to watch any more of your content. And if you're not taking the opportunity to make this page into something that's basically your storefront, your selling point, then you're wasting that opportunity. Right now, there's 6 videos listed here, yet he could fill this page up with a bunch.
Yeah, all of these ones here.
Yeah. So if you use like a playlist system, if you look at Leron's page, he does a really great job of spreading that out on his homepage, maybe even having a trailer or something. You're going to give a person an opportunity to see more stuff when they land on that homepage. They may not click the video tab if they go to the homepage and only see 6 videos listed there. So, you always got to think about, don't give a person a reason to click away. So, I mean, put as much out there in front of it as possible and try to give them more options to click on something.
Yeah. It looks like you've written out a description, which is good to see. Yep. And yeah, you joined YouTube very recently, like in the last 4 months. So it's great to see that you're closing in on 200 subscribers. Yeah. And you've already had these mini viral moments. To get 2, 3, 4 videos that have had over 1,000 views is fantastic progress. So don't get it wrong here. The thing you want to be just wary of as well here is that because it looks like you had a viral video which had 13,000 views, you wanted to catalog it. And while that might be interesting for you and your channel, maybe consider, is your audience interested in YouTube analytics? And they might not be. So as a community video, this might be fine, this one here, about how you accidentally got 13,000 views. But just think about if it fits in with your channel focus and strategy. That might be something to think about there. And I think what we might do here, because you've got a sample size of 25 videos, sort by most popular. Like I think any video that has over 1,000 views now, you might want to be creating like a playlist series on further expanding on these topics might help you.
It's interesting that the first one, the top one, is a laptop review, and that's it's kind of one of those things where you could think of this one of two ways. We've seen this before, Rob, where you could go, okay, well, we know from other channels that if you just double and triple down on that sort of thing, this might become a successful thing for this channel. However, so much of it is about the financial stuff that you almost have to ignore that one and then double down on the other video.
Yeah, it is an outlier, isn't it? I mean, if you were going to try and bring it back into your concept of freedom, presumably financial freedom, it might be like the best budget laptops to purchase when starting a business. That's how you could potentially tie it in. But there's a tenuous link there. So yeah, I mean, you've always got to be careful. Like if this video gets 50,000 views, what do you do now? Are you suddenly a laptop review channel? And if that's the path you want to go down, absolutely fine. But just bear that in mind when you're sort of reaching out onto these other branches of topics and what's going to happen to your channel with them. If you're finding this type of auditing useful and you want to expand your learning horizons with YouTube and build more, then folks, we've got the VidIQ Academy. What a wonderful segue that was. At the beginning of January, we launched this brand new service whereby every single month we will be releasing new courses. Right now, our flagship course is to start your YouTube channel in 30 days. We do 30 plus videos telling you how to improve your thumbnails, why you should get audio first as your tech improvement, what's your superpower, how to niche down on a topic, all of these things in this academy. This is what it looks like right now. Travis here with a complete guide to finding your niche. I'm here with keyword research. Jeremy's also got a thumbnail guide, and Dan in the future is going to be doing a complete beginner's guide to starting a gaming channel. He doesn't know that yet, but I've just decided that he's going to do that.
We all found it together.
So yeah, all of this stuff. I mean, there's 75 plus lessons already on the Academy. And the great thing is with the Academy is that it is included with either VidIQ Pro or Boost. And we've got a 30% discount right now. There is a link in this video description which will get you the 30% discount, but I think it's due to run out in a couple of days. So if you want that, act fast. But just to remind you, any purchase plan with VidIQ, whether it be Pro or Boost, you get all of the tools in that tier, and then you have the Academy on top. This is not a new price or cost to the VidIQ service. It's included with everything that we've been bringing to you now for 5+ years. So do check out the VidIQ Academy. But with that, let's go back to some channel audits. The next one we are looking at is, here we are running races, training reviews. Now, to begin with, this feels like quite a niche topic here of somebody's personal journey on running what looks to be 10Ks, marathons, that type of thing. But you've already got 1,000 subscribers, which I think is fantastic. And when I look at your view counts, they all look fairly steady and healthy. You're getting like 500 views or just under 1,000 views. So some stuff that's really consistent. You're not really deviating from what your audience expects, which is fantastic to see. Improvements I may suggest to your thumbnails is your logo. Here we are running. It's maybe a little bit big. Maybe you want to turn it into like just a little graphic of legs moving or something, because I feel as if it takes up a little bit too much space on your thumbnails. Whether or not you need the marathon that you're training for in the bottom of the thumbnail, I'm not too sure. If you look at the timestamps, that's cutting off your week training number on all of your thumbnails, so you have to consider that. And I think maybe you need to add some sort of word, a single word, or a target or a goal that you're trying to set, beat or failing every single week. So it might be Manchester Marathon training, new best time, like, or under 3 hours on this one, and it might be on the thumbnail that you have you pointing to yourself when you're absolutely shattered, but there's a time underneath it, and the text might be worth it. I think just trying to tell more of a story rather than what I think here are very functional titles may put you in good stead. With that being said, the fact that you're in the moment of every training session or marathon, I think is fantastic. You are the hero. As Travis has said, you may want to punch up the saturation a little bit on some of these thumbnails. I mean, it feels like you're taking still shots from the videos themselves. So it might be that you just need to stop for 5 seconds and think about the thumbnail that you're going to take and take a picture of that. But generally speaking, for a channel like this, which is very personal and it's almost like a vlogging about a particular topic, which it feels like marathon running, I feel as if you're doing pretty well here. Folks, Dan, Travis, any more thoughts here? I'm just going to scroll down, see what else we have.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I like the idea of like the running thing in the banner. I think that's such a cool idea. And some of these are very definitely like holding a GoPro kind of while running. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's kind of cool. And the thumbnails kind of imply that. As long as that's what you're giving in the video, I think that's cool. Of course, the text, as we always talk about, some of that's almost unreadable. So just don't bother. And then like we always talk about, search when you're looking for the search terms that you're going to kind of go after.
Yeah, let's have a quick search, see if we can find
literally
a good
search for them and see what kind of thumbnails people are doing.
Marathon training, that's the first auto suggestion account. So you may want to tweak your titles as well to be marathon training perhaps a little bit more. I think this is a good example. I know this is kind of deviating a little bit from you just running in a marathon, but there's a story being told here that somebody was preparing and they were at this point in their journey and now they're at another point in their journey, and the thumbnail does a good story of telling that. This one, I think that's the type of thumbnail that adds a bit more to me in terms of again, it's in motion, but there's the fact that they're doing a 2-hour run might be interesting to the viewer to click on. There's an arrow pointing somewhere, like why? That's just intriguing. Like, why is that there? Maybe I need to click on it. And they do have a logo as well, but it's hidden by the timestamp, so they'd want to put that in the bottom left-hand corner on that one. Oh, that one. Ooh, I like that thumbnail here. This one. Sorry, when I mouse over it, it does a bit of an autoplay, but that feels really impactful, that one. So that might be, again, another opportunity. So yeah, maybe just search for marathon training, look at the thumbnails, because I think you can do better than this. I think these thumbnails are fine, but I think there's potential to do better, and that would be my thought. Dan, I've let you have a verbal rest for a long time, so is there anything else you would want to add here?
The only thing I noticed that I don't think you touched on was the view count. They're very healthy views and decent subscriber count.
Yeah,
maybe some opportunities for some calls to action for subscribers, just simply because some of these videos are kind of, getting close to 1,000 just at the top here. And
I think that I think you're right in that there's a solid community here. So as you say, calls to action, maybe asking questions to the viewers if you're not already doing that might be a good thing, because it feels like there's a really engaged community here. Are you using the community tab? You got over 1,000 subscribers? No, so you might want to test out the community tab as well there. But yeah, for a channel like this, I think progress is good and solid. Posted on a very regular basis, which I can imagine is pretty tough going, considering you're running marathons. I would never find a time or energy to actually post a video after it, so I credit you there as well. So that is Here We Are Running. The next channel we are going to look at is PF Racing Media. Dan, lead us off on this one. What type of channel are we looking at here?
This is somebody who one of two things. Either maybe even both. Either they make their own stock cars and take them to events, or they attend a lot of events with, what are those called? Rallies, basically, with cars crashing into each other and races and things like that. So there's in either case, a lot of content opportunities. So I'm very jealous of your hobby right out of the gate.
Yeah.
this has been mentioned a couple times now, but saturation in thumbnails. There's a lot of color in these cars, and it's not really translating in these thumbnails. They are covered in dust, to be fair, but I do think that you could tweak them a bit, make the cars kind of pop a little bit more. These are car crashes. These are great action shots, very, very clickable in my opinion, but they could be popping a little bit more because the text is a little bit outspoken in this case.
That is a big question, isn't it? I mean, let's just imagine if you were looking at all of these thumbnails and not a single one of them had text. Do you think they would be more impactful? And I would personally say yes, because a car upside down is fascinating. A car with half of the back of it missing is fascinating. A car crumpled up is interesting, fascinating. I don't think the text is required, is it? I think these would all serve their purpose without adding any of the text. That's my personal opinion. Do let us know in the chat here. But I think definitely testing a little bit more without text. And I think they're starting to do that a little bit up here. Like there's much less text.
Right.
And like just this one, I like the fact that there's this what looks to be a ridiculously sized taxi or people carrier that's been turned into some sort of demolition derby type car, which is fascinating. This one here, I know it didn't get many views, but this is just a car in action. It's in a semi-destruction. Another one here where there's all sorts of bumping going on. God, that is a terrible term for two cars crashing into each other. But that's all I could think of. Yeah, sorry, Dan. I wanted to interject there, but what else
That's okay.
are you thinking?
Very, very good views on most of these. And with your subscriber count, I'm going to make a safe assumption that you are also not using calls to action as effectively as perhaps you could be.
Not much engagement though. Not much engagement. So
That's
maybe
fair.
this is another channel that's has their content off of YouTube. Their external links. So people are watching this content outside of YouTube. And I think that may be supported a little bit by the two links there. I'm wondering if half this stuff is shared through Facebook groups and stuff, which is fine. But it just means that you haven't got a community on YouTube. You've got 1,000 subscribers versus many thousands of views, and that can be a bit of a challenge for creators.
Yeah, and I guess the last thing I would say, just going back to the thumbnails, is those two there at the very top that are mostly dust. I get that those are probably perhaps even the biggest moments of that day, but they're just not translating super well in my opinion compared to some of these other ones. So some photo editing or even just some different selections for these thumbnails would be my biggest piece of advice.
Yeah. Anything else to add there, Travis? Or do you think we've
I think it's a cool looking channel, and I think they should definitely be getting more subscribers per view.
And they've got this is a channel that's got very unique content,
Yep.
and I don't know why, but none of this suggests to me that it's compilations where you grab stuff from other channels. It feels like you are visiting all of these events and you're capturing all of this footage, which is absolutely fantastic. One other thing else I noticed as well is that I think these videos, oh no, that one got 5,000 views. I was just wondering if shorter videos, like a minute 40 here, were struggling in terms of views because, well, that one's got 20,000 views and that's only a minute long, so maybe that is a red herring. And the last question I had was PF Racing Media. I don't think that's a very exciting channel name for this type of content. I guess the creators may be locked into these names because you've used them in Facebook and Instagram. But I don't know, maybe we could change the channel name as a bit of a test. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's a bad idea to have Instagram account, other social media platforms with different names versus your YouTube channel? Do you think it should all be relatively uniform?
Especially if they're posting on those sites the same content, it might get confusing unless they're changing their name across the board.
Yeah.
I don't really know what the PF stands for. It's maybe it could be their name, but at least Racing Media does say, kind of what you expect here. You're going to see cars in competition. I don't know if these are necessarily races. It looks like demolition derbies for the most part, but I see what you're saying for sure. I would say that they'd probably have to change their name across the board then.
Twisted Metal on the PlayStation. Does anyone remember that game?
Oh yeah.
And Vigilante 8. That was another one which I do remember from the old gaming days of a PlayStation. Let's move on to the next channel, which is Sammy8509. I guess there must be 8,508 channels called Sammy previously on YouTube. Dan, this is a gaming channel, obviously. I think you plucked this one out of a list we have. What are we looking at here?
So this is a channel that seems to be focusing on a niche of a niche, which is the best thing you could do as a gaming channel, because there's games that have a lot of opportunities like that. In this case, it's Roblox, and I'm going to take a stab at the name. It's called, it's either called Struxid or I don't know, something like that. But basically, Roblox allows people to make games within its own game. So this particular creator is focusing on that content, you know, which seems to be doing very well for them because they're getting very decent views. They have well over 2,000 subscribers now, so congratulations to that. What I like about the channel off the bat is there's a lot of color in the thumbnails. I think they pop really well. Some of them have a lot of text, and some of them don't translate too well, but for the most part, that was one thing I was going to commend, was just the, you know, when there is text like free skins, that kind of tells you everything you need it to tell you. But one of the things that kind of perplexed me were some of the interactions with the videos. You can see the like to dislike ratio is a bit skewed at times.
Yeah, a little off occasionally. Yeah.
And I was going to say that maybe, just for a piece of advice for this channel, you might want to look at those videos in particular and find out why you got a number of dislikes, because dislikes mean that people went to the video and didn't get what they expected, usually, most of the time. So you might want to see why that is, because otherwise I would say what this channel's doing seems to be working for them pretty well.
Some strange videos here. Playing structured, I'm going to call it that, on a boat. And then playing it on a potato laptop. I don't even get what that means, but it got 1,000 views. Let's just sort by most popular. Let's see if we can find some particular topics within. Well, there we are. The channel could probably become the thought leader, the go-to channel for using different controllers on this game. So I don't know. I assume this is a PC mod. So
yeah,
if
it's a PC game.
You could choose. I mean, the obvious option here is to use PlayStation 4 controller. See if you can work out if you can get a Nintendo Switch controller working on it. I know this is going really niche, but this is how you can really build up an audience to begin with these. It's almost like your go-to content, like where you're struggling for an idea, or you feel as if you need like a bit of a boost in your vanity metrics. And sometimes people need that. They just need a little bit of a lift after going through a bit of a dry patch on the channel. You could maybe go back to these controller setups for this particular game and have 10, 20 videos that really show everybody how to use it. And whenever you do a video on that, YouTube will probably reward you for that.
Think about and it looks like you do cover Xbox and PlayStation. Just think about how many people have a Nintendo Switch controller. If it's possible to play it on a Switch controller, I would definitely make a video on that. Even if you think it's obvious just by watching the Xbox one, because you're going to get discovered by somebody who isn't searching for how to play with an Xbox controller, but they're searching for how to play with a Switch controller.
Yeah, and I think as well you could probably just add a bit more keyword richness here, like how to play on controller. Well, let's be more specific. Do like an Xbox controller, do a PlayStation controller, do a Switch controller, do the most popular controller that's available to PC gamers. Maybe
controller.
Yeah, and the NVIDIA Shield controller. All of those different controllers you can maybe look at as future ideas for your content. But congratulations, Sammy, on the success you've already had, coming up to 3,000 subscribers. And we think there's some definite areas of obvious, not improvement, but just going back to the content that's already worked and doubling down on that stuff. All right, we've looked at a lot of channels already. We've already got some super chats in, so I'll best read them out before I forget. We are saying thank you to the following. Exploring with Riley with the £1 super chat and another £1 super chat. And yes, pizza delivery for you is back. He just destroyed our super chat last week and is giving us $5 without even a message this time. Really is appreciated. Thank you very much. Freedom Saga, you just wanted to say thanks for reviewing your channel. I hope to provide the same level of value to the people in my own way. And that's exactly what we preach here. We are giving value to you as much as we can. Make sure you do that for your own particular audience. And PF Racing Media has said, many thanks for the review. Great feedback and all spot on. Oh, thank you. We appreciate that. It's nice when we actually get things right. Brendan James, you submitted your channel for review, but you got to go to sleep. £10. Thank you for your super chat. Sleep tight. We may randomly review it in our random review selection, Brendan, so make sure to watch the replay of this live stream later on. I think it's now time for some random Twitter selections, so I'm going to refresh this list, and hopefully we've got some entertaining stuff that we can scroll through. Who is gonna pick first? I think Travis has already got a winner here with the first one. Please review my channel. Oh, who is that again?
Pee Wee Herman.
Pee Wee Herman.
Who was that again?
And I see. Dan, I'm not American, so I'm not always in tune with all of these things. I definitely know who this person is. Fun fact, Patrick Stewart was born in Murfield, which is literally 3 miles from where I was born back in the UK. Oh. Nobody found it interesting whatsoever.
I did.
Okay, good stuff.
I didn't.
That's psychedelic. Kiddens, yeah, that worked on us last week, I seem to remember.
Are you ready for this audit? Are you though?
Oh, there we go. Well, it's PF Racing. We've already picked him. But that's what we want. We want
that
it.
One would have won though. That one
when people Photoshop us in, when I'm putting the time and the effort to make VidIQ stuff, that's what I like. That's
a good one.
All right, we've got our first winner. We're gonna audit this channel. We are looking at the following channel, which is Philam Fambam, I think the channel is called.
Filipino.
Nearly 60 subscribers. Who hasn't spoken for a while? I think, Travis, you've had a bit of a verbal rest. So yeah, take the lead on this one, and then Dan and I will jump in.
Filipino content I've talked about a lot. There's a really good opportunity to grow with Filipino content if you really niche down and get the appropriate kind of content out there. There's a tremendous amount of Filipinos that are on YouTube and they're looking for content that matches up with them. So I definitely am all about seeing new Filipino channels. So this one has a whole bunch of stuff. Now, if we look at just the thumbnails themselves, they're super busy. Most of these are super, super, super busy.
A good example is where you just put the thumbnails on here, look at it for 20 seconds, folks, and is there a single thumbnail that stands out to you? Or is it just your eyes are just darting from one bit of text to another, to a bright color and so on? As you say, I think if I was going to pick one, probably that one. Yeah. And the reason is because it's one of the simplest, I would say. But sorry, Travis, go on. I just want to...
Yeah, no, one of the big things about Filipino culture is the food. And I am a huge fan of Filipino food. And it just so happens that one of my friends who has a food channel, when we kind of figured out that Filipino content's doing well for him, he did an entire playlist based on Filipino food and has really done great for his channel. I also have another friend, a family group of explorers. We actually, you know them too, Rob, trying something new. They just hit 30,000 subscribers not that long ago. They blew up on some Filipino content too. And really it all comes down to either the culture or the food. So I would heavily rely on that if you can kind of get that into your content. Of course, it looks like you've been a couple of weeks since you've posted, but I mean, doing the different foods in America, maybe even having people trying Filipino food for the first time, that sort of thing might be kind of fun, because this is like a kind of a family vlogish type thing. So try different things, think about the culture, think about exposing the culture to people in America. I believe this, San Francisco. It looks like they're in America, because it's like San Francisco travel vlog, or at the very least, maybe they're visiting. It's hard to tell. What does the about page say? Let's have a look. See. Filipino American food info. Oh, Filipino American. Okay, Filipino American. Acronym Filipino American. It's hard to, it says location in the United States. So it looks like they're in the United States. I would definitely just rely on all the cool culture things that Filipinos have and kind of explain that in your videos. That sort of stuff blows up. And when you get people from the Philippines watching your content, they're going to just come in and be loyal and loving. And it's been every time I've ever seen this strategy work, it's one of the coolest things to watch because such a kind people and really very supportive. So double down on your food. Don't worry about the American food. There's plenty of YouTube channels that talk about, Whopper versus Impossible Whopper. It's been done a million times. But start talking about balut, or you talk about adobo or something like that, how to make the best adobo in the US or whatever. That I believe is going to do a lot better.
Travis, I think you've covered this one so perfectly that Dan and I can look forward to the next channel to audit. But thank you for the Twitter submission. We'll be going back to Twitter in another 20 minutes or so to pick another channel. I've just got to remember where I am in my list. I think it's that one. Yes, we are looking at Death Dealer, 2,500 subscribers for you. Gonna quickly scan the thumbnails. Looks to me like a strong Minecraft influence. I think what intrigued me when I first looked at this channel was, why does your channel banner look like the outside of your house?
That is a game. I have not figured out what game yet.
Oh, is it maybe Grand Theft Auto?
It could be. I think it is. Just if you look at the plant on the right there, you can see it's kind of polygony.
It's full of. I'm going to say the exact same thing. Yeah, it's a bit polygony, that one. Well, it looks as if there has been a shift in focus, maybe from a realistic game, whatever that was, to more Minecrafty stuff. This is one of these channels which is littered with something that we argue about a lot here, which is episode numbers. Does the channel need episode numbers? Does it set an expectation for the viewer that they need to have gone through the previous 7 or 8 episodes? And the episode number is jumping a lot here. We're going from episode 6 to episode 1 to episode 7 to episode 10 to episode 2. So it looks as if you're doing multiple episodes. I think there's like a Timecraft one here and a Project Ozone as well. So I, as a new visitor, I'm getting really confused about what series there are. And I think for a viewer who's visiting a channel for the first time, you as a creator need to step back from trying to tell stories to viewers over a series of videos. I always feel as if it's best that videos should stand on their own 2 feet wherever they are in a series, so that if I end up on episode 257 of a series, I'm more fascinated by the actual content in that video as opposed to where you've been in the past and in the future in that series. So I would maybe recommend taking out the episode number and maybe the text as well, because it feels a little bit heavy. The logo, the episode number, the text in the 3 corners. I feel as if it's maybe taken away from what looked to be some fairly decent actual thumbnails in terms of focus. Like, I can see a nice castle here, an interesting face there, a house here. Some interesting stuff going on. I went on for a long time there, Dan. What are you picking out here?
You stole my thunder.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Sometimes I get into that groove.
You definitely picked up on something that I missed because the thumbnails really distracted me the most about this channel, but the episode numbers as well, because I talk about this quite a bit. Whenever you get into a big episodic series in any game, especially Minecraft, I always say that you would probably do better getting rid of the episode number, even if it's still in a sequence. But let the playlist do that heavy lifting. Instead, let your episode title be about what that specific video is about, and you have more room for that if you get rid of the episode number. Minecraft Survival, Ep 05, End Busting. It's kind of at the top there. The dragon egg is prominent. I'm guessing you fought the dragon in 1.15. That's the brand new Minecraft update coming out, and that's a pretty interesting video, but I don't even like end busting comes so late in the title because you left room for the episode number. You also want to get Minecraft 1.15 in there, but you put Minecraft twice, probably not necessary. So I just wanted to touch on that in particular with the titles.
So would you say the dragon egg is the most important thing in the new Minecraft update in terms of acquiring it or destroying it or whatever?
No,
that would be the focus of the story, perhaps.
No, the new update features some combat mechanic changes.
Right.
So the fact that you fought the Ender Dragon and these changes are prominent now in the game, you could have that's a good point. You could have more focused on that because the Dragon Egg's been around since 1.0. That's been there for a long time. So that's just some ideas for you to get you thinking. I would go so far as to say your logo in these thumbnails is taking away so much impact that these thumbnails could have, as Rob pointed out. The logo, the text, everything. it's not necessarily necessary. One thing, I know we're kind of going on this channel for a bit here, but there is one really interesting thing about it. If you go to their most popular videos,
Sure.
they have some outstandingly popular videos from about 3 years ago. The view counts on these are pretty incredible, and you'll notice the thumbnails are a lot different, but they are, the majority of them, tutorials. Modern Cities also. Yeah, for some reason, Modern Cities was doing pretty well back then. But I would suggest perhaps going back into tutorials a little bit more, because they're always going to draw more search, and they're going to help you get discovered. And then that's when you take that audience and introduce them to some Let's Plays. Mix in some tutorials from now and again, because they do take more time, more research, but they're highly searched for, especially when a new update comes out.
That is interesting. I think for Travis and I, who've seen a lot of Minecraft channels over the last year, I've never seen a Minecraft channel where they're building highways. I didn't even realize that was a thing in Minecraft, that you could do this sort of city building type of stuff. It almost reminds me. It reminds me of SimCity almost a little bit. These construction ones. So yeah,
very nice.
That feels like a bit of a niche. Fortunately, it's now 3 years old, so maybe it's too late to go back to that, Dan, or is like a new update to this type of thing that maybe we could jump on?
You could incorporate some mods that add roads and traffic. There's one mod I'm playing with right now. It's called Mr. Crayfish's Vehicle Mod, and it literally puts cars in the game. And we were playing, we set up roads, and we all have cars, and we drive around and race them around and stuff. So there's probably some opportunities in Minecraft still. These thumbnails are very nice, though.
I just imagine you just like reduce the Minecraft Let's Build to some tiny little thing in the top right-hand corner, just so that people know it's a Minecraft. But then just having a football pitch wide and thinking, because as a complete layman to Minecraft, I didn't even realize you could build a football pitch. And I assume in Minecraft you can build absolutely anything, but to actually see people doing it, that's a fascinating thing to see.
Yeah, I almost wonder if your thumbnail strategy from back in the day, though, might have been a little bit better, just considering the views. Yeah. These are older; they've had time to grow, but and I agree with you too. That Minecraft is kind of getting lost in some of the clouds anyway. But the text could have been smaller. But maybe, as I was saying, your logo and your text take away so much color from those otherwise colorful thumbnails that maybe you should walk those back a little bit.
Also known as Def.
Or Kyle. Kyle works too.
Kyle's good. Let's move on to the next channel. It is Joelle Manrique. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. You have just cracked 100 subscribers. Well done to you in about a month with around 10 videos. So that is fantastic progress for you. And you tell us that you inspire, motivate, and empower your audience. Who picked this one? Was this a Travis selection, this one? Or did I pick it?
I think so.
All right. What are we looking at here then, Travis, for this channel? I think some good foundation, solid thumbnails, great start, already getting views. I'm liking this channel so far.
Yeah, I like the banner. It tells you what you should expect very quickly. It's mobile safe, so we're good there. Moving on down, we see what the subject matter is. Let's see. So how to grieve, couples in grief. A lot of stuff about grief, which is interesting because that could overcoming depression, grief. So there's definitely something here to talk to people that are struggling, which is great because literally and unfortunately, we will always have people that are struggling. And over the last couple of days, a lot of things have happened in the news and stuff that are having people really sad. So this is a kind of one of those things where this type of channel could grow just based on, people struggling with depression or sadness. And, after the holidays are over, some people go back from seeing their families to just be sitting alone in their room or whatever. So this is good for that sort of thing. Also, some of the thumbnails are really doing a good job kind of explaining visually what's going on. So in those instances, I don't know that some of these need text. I know we keep saying text, but sometimes text is okay. But I think in a lot of these, the pictures are doing such a good job that it's kind of unnecessary.
I just want to look at the about section here just to confirm what I was thinking. So this is a YouTube channel about what looks to be a couple, a family who have sadly lost their daughter, which is tragic. And you're based in Vancouver as well. I'm in Vancouver as well.
Oh, cool.
So I think that the first thing to say is beyond like just, improving thumbnails, that type of thing. You have a very, very personal story here. and you are showing an incredible amount of vulnerability coming onto YouTube. But at the same time, there are so many people who've probably gone through a similar level of grief.
Yeah.
And I just want to applaud you for being brave enough to take your story onto YouTube. And hopefully, as you say, inspiring others and letting them know that you're not alone in this stage of your life, and this can happen to people at any time. And I always say that these are the types of channels that are the backbone of YouTube, the less well-heard ones, which don't necessarily get the thousands of subscribers and millions of views, but they have a potential to impact lives so importantly and hopefully positively. So yeah, well done for sharing that on YouTube.
Yeah, tough. That's a really tough thing to do. So definitely hats off.
Yeah, and it already looks as if there are people gravitating towards your content. I guess now that we've kind of worked out what the channel is about, it may be that you want to a little bit more. It's like it might be like inspiration and motivation over grief, because it feels as if that's what you're. Because I think you just when I looked at this channel to begin with, when I was glancing over it when it was picked, I was kind of thinking, oh, is this about inspiration and motivation for you in business or for you being a better speaker? And it's not. It's something completely different and a lot more serious. So I think maybe having that as a value proposition will help you going forward as well. Sorry, Travis, I've taken over the channel a bit. But yeah,
I think that's a great call out, because what you're doing is something very important, and I think that you're right. Like, it should be clear in the actual title of the banner that, you know, this is for overcoming grief, maybe inspiring through grief, maybe growing through the pain or whatever, something like that might help people understand quicker, rather than kind of going, oh, okay, I can find out about my business, and then coming here and go, oh no, this is not at all what I want. And the thing is, that's what you don't want. You don't want people bouncing too early in videos because they misunderstood, you know, what's going on. Now, my recommendation for the content itself, which I haven't had a chance to watch any of it, but is that you try to end every video, if possible, on a positive note, because ultimately you want people to leave with a good feeling in your video. So while you might go through some really heavy and tough stuff in the beginning and middle part of the video, you need to, hopefully at the beginning of the video, give people hope, so that you can say, listen, we're going to talk about some tough things, but I'm going to tell you how to get through it. I'm going to tell you the good parts of it or whatever, so that when people are done watching the video, they're not sad, they're not drained. They are inspired, have hope, and feel like there's something better and greater out there. So my main thing is just ensure that when you're making these videos, you're ending every single one on some type of positive note, to hope and inspire, which I assume you are. But if not, just always keep that in mind. I mean, maybe you are, but keep that in mind.
And just one more thing I wanted to look at. I'm going to look at a video with 500 views here, because I'm interested in the engagement, because I think what is also important for you as a channel is to try and make a safe, welcoming place where, if you're sharing your story, you may want to encourage the people who are watching to have the confidence to maybe share their experience as well. So you only have 9 comments here, so it may be an idea that you want to ask questions or try and touch the viewer in a way that's going to make them respond a little bit more, but in a very not in a very like a vanity metrics type of way. I'm not trying to tell you this to increase engagement, which may increase views. It's just a place which I don't think we've ever touched on our channel Audit. So I think it's really important that people, your viewers, are aware that there are these type of supportive channels on YouTube where they can maybe share their own experiences. So I just want to say, Joelle, thank you for coming onto YouTube and doing what you're doing. In the month that you've been on YouTube, you got 100 subscribers, awesome. You got a few hundred views, awesome. But just being on YouTube, I think, is enough for us to. I want to do I want to celebrate this channel. So I'm trying to get. Yeah, there we are. The confetti's there. So I just want to celebrate this channel and similar ones on YouTube. Let's move on then to the next one, which is Marie MacWilliams. This looks to be a book reading channel, coming up to 500 subscribers. From the thumbnails, I'm getting like maybe a bit of a horror or a gothy vibe potentially from the content. I think this is another one you chose, Travis. Sorry, I've backloaded the pre-selected channels, but yeah, what did you think about this one as well?
I just thought it was interesting. I liked the thumbnails. And here's the thing. Now, we've talked a lot about text, but in this case, I'm totally cool with it for a couple of reasons. Number one, these are like book reviews and stuff, so it's kind of difficult to have some type of image that's going to be consistently different across each thumbnail. So that's already difficult. Secondarily, it's about books. People like to read. Totally cool. Put extra words on there. That's one of the few times where you can say, well, the people that are probably watching these videos are readers anyway. So that's how they communicate. That's their quote love language or whatever. It's something that they'll communicate and connect with. So I'm totally cool in instances like this with having more text than what we normally say to go with. So again, every niche is a little bit different. They're all dark backed, which I just think is interesting. Makes me think that they're mostly like, maybe not horror, but maybe suspense and stuff.
I don't often do this, but I'm just going to switch to dark mode. I'm just interested to see how this.
That's how I found it. I was in dark mode, and I was like, "Ooh!" Like I'm in dark mode. So when I look at this, I was like, "Ooh!" It was really striking. So yeah, I just like the way it looked. I am curious as to like how because the thing about her channel is the video lengths are kind of all over the place, and that's not a bad thing. It's just interesting. Because some are like 18 minutes, which is a huge thing, 14, and then you have like some that are 5 minutes. So I'm curious as to what the retention looks like on these. Obviously, you'll want to investigate that. Of course, you can use our tool and then check the channel audit there. It will tell you which videos are getting the best retention, the best watch time, subscribers, and all the things. So make sure that you're using that. But I really like what you're doing here with the thumbnails. I think they're great. What's the homepage? I forget. I don't know if I missed the homepage.
The homepage. Sorry, that was the bad section. Let's go here. Okay, there is a channel trailer.
And BookTube. This is the second time I saw the word BookTube. I had never heard it before today. And there was 2 channels that submitted things that they said BookTube. So obviously it's something that we're not familiar with. Maybe we need to dig into that.
Let's just do a quick search for that. Is BookTube now a YouTube thing, or is it like a rival platform? And
3 years ago. So yeah, BookTube consumers. Apparently it is. Why I left BookTube. There's a BookTube you can leave. What?
Interesting.
Welcome to so I like it. So you know what you might even want to do, Marie, is in your name and certainly in the banner is to put BookTube. If for no other reason, for SEO purposes.
Yeah.
So like Maria MacWilliams --BookTube. You'd be surprised at how well that can work. So just that little thing might be a good little hack.
Things.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Whoa.
Bookstagram. What am I?
Bookstagram. Yeah. Next is going to be BookBook, and then we're going to have Bookwitter.
Booker.
And then I guess the TikTok version will be BokBok. Page Trest. Folks, if you want to give us your book alternatives in the chat, then please do so. I have a bit of a challenge for this creator because I think one of the problems always with channels like this is that how do you break out into a more of a mainstream audience? And obviously you know your niche and you're covering horror and I think nerdy type of book reviews. My question is, and I don't know the answer to this, is The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter a book that was released in the last week or so of when you reviewed it, or are you working through horror the books in this genre and reviewing them when you can? And I feel as if you may need to get a bit more trendy if you can. Again, sorry if you already are. And also maybe critiquing very popular books in the genre as a whole. So it might be something along the lines of The Shining, where you review an old book that's always been searched for, or something about Stephen King. I can see that you've done one here. It can sometimes be a good idea to maybe just latch onto like a bit of a popular topic and add your own and twist to it. So it might be like the 5 best Stephen King books to read at Halloween or something along those lines. Because you have an audience and you have a consistent view count, but I'm just not seeing anything that's really hitting a trending vibe. I'll just sort by most popular, see if you have had success in the past and maybe why. And no, so far, and how old is the channel? So the channel is really young as well. So hang on, let's just go back here. How old is the channel in total? So the channel is about 3 months old now, and you nearly have 500 subscribers. Brilliant. You have lots of videos in the triple digits, which is brilliant. I would just love to see maybe 1 or 2 videos that have over 1,000 views. That gives you like a bit of wider audience shareability to maybe just check out them. And I guess the other thing is as well, if you're doing book reviews, would it be better to have a bit of a blown up image of a book cover? I don't know, Travis, you're a fan of a text, but maybe the book cover's needed. Something maybe to test with there. I mean, all of your thumbnails have text in, apart from 1 or 2 where you haven't used text. So maybe it's a bit worth testing a little bit. Click-through rate, see if that does have a dramatic impact on your view counts. But that is MacWilliams. Good luck with your channel as you move forward into 2020. And I think now with just over an hour on the clock, we've got a few more super chats that came in. There was one from Big Eater Mike. Again, for some reason, the old YouTube setup will not allow me to scroll down and have a look at the $9.99 super chat. Can we see it?
I have it.
Yeah, read it out for me, Dan, please.
Competitive Eater here. Channel submitted as food, not a food review channel. Thank you for your time.
All right. Hopefully that may come up in the next random selection part. But first of all, we're going back to the Twitter selection to see if we can pick another channel to audit through your inventiveness. I don't know.
That's funny.
That is a good one. That is a good one. I don't get that one. I've got to be honest. I am not a fan of Shrek, so that's not going to work on me. The donkeys, some people dancing. Oh, that must have been painful, that, when I go hiking. What is going on? So I do find that one that somebody's found a bug in our system saying that they've got minus 100 views per hour. I'm gonna order this one. Fair cop, you found a bug, we can report it. Thank you very much for that. So we're going to look at Spitter as this one. Is it Spitter? Splitter, sorry. This channel has over 1,000 subscribers. First of all, congratulations. From the very channel banner, I would suggest that this is a Spider-Man channel, but it's not, is it? It's this game that's doing really well, this Brains.io one that we've seen before. It's similar to, what is it, Paper.io. And what's the one that kicked all of this off, which was from a few years ago, Dan? You know, the one where you have to make a bigger
worm
bubble.
Or something? Snake? Not snake.
Not Slivero. Sliver.io.
That's what I thought it was.
There was a one before that where you start off as a small bubble and then you turn into a bigger one and gobble others. I was addicted to that. Someone will tell me in the chat. Anyway, let's go back to his channel. Dan, the gaming expert here. We got a channel that's got 1,000 subscribers. They're getting views over that number every single time, which is brilliant.
Yep.
Some good stuff going on. Some very good stuff going on here. Wow, look at all of this. Nice things going on.
Congratulations on your channel. Some really good views. So I'm going to say it again. Don't be afraid to tell your viewers to subscribe, like, immediately. Even with just, like, you might have noticed as we're streaming today, a little subscribe icon that keeps popping up. Something like that. Nice and simple. There's a bunch of those out there you can grab.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like you've just been sticking to brains.io, which is awesome.
I mean, that is awesome, isn't it? A channel a gaming channel that has not deviated from the very first video that they made. And we're talking, about 100 videos here. And that's, I think, that's where persistence is rewarded, isn't it? They've stuck to their guns. They're going to keep working on this. They had some success to begin with, like the first video did well. I mean, to get 1,000 views in your first video is fantastic, amazing. Yeah. And they've continued on that. Even when some of the videos didn't do that well, like 800 views, 200 views, struggling a little bit here and there. 90 views on one. Wow. Now, that's because they changed topic. That's interesting. So as soon as they changed to survive.io, viewers did not like it. And another one here as well. As soon as the channel deviated, that's what can happen. As soon as you don't include brains.io in the title, that's what can happen. So sorry, Dan.
No, it's okay.
I'll keep going. All of these little YouTube things that we always notice in channels, like if you keep the title the same once you're on a successful run, if you keep to the same game, you'll start to get these rewards. I'll take a break now, Dan. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. I think I wouldn't have noticed that because those thumbnails kind of look similar to me too. But YouTube has made you an authority on this game, obviously. And so it's become kind of an issue. If you want to play something else, you would probably do another channel altogether, which is not a bad thing. I would definitely keep on this trajectory if you can. But if I can comment about thumbnails, obviously this game is a top-down game, and it's hard to make a thumbnail where you can see what the heck is going on. I think your thumbnails are probably working for the brains.io audience.
Yeah.
So you might be okay. It's something I noticed today. I was on my phone looking at YouTube, scrolling through videos, and someone had probably something, if we were looking at the page on desktop like this, we would shame. But on mobile, it worked really well. They had just a bunch of text on the left side and then their face on the right. And I could read the text perfectly because it was on my phone and blown up nice and big. So perhaps on mobile, perhaps wherever these videos are getting discovered, it translates better, maybe. It's just kind of a thought that I had while I was looking at that video. But
no, I haven't spelled it right. I was just looking at some good examples of thumbnails.
Even some of these, they've tried to put something big in the frame to catch your eye.
This is really interesting because is it the fact that it's got a period in there that's confusing the search engine? I asked that because I've heard of this game a lot, but yet at the top of the search rankings, we've got a channel with 3,000 subscribers dominating. And you would expect channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, millions of views to really be taking charge of this area. That is really weird, really interesting. Or have I still spelled it wrong?
What happens if you just type brains without the .io?
Yeah, good question. Good question.
What are the suggested searches there?
Same results, really.
Interesting.
Brains.
Look how low the competition is.
Yeah. Folks, if you're a gaming channel and you're looking to branch out into a new topic or you want to start a channel, this seems to... Look at it. 1,000 subscribers, 10,000 views, 2 weeks old. This seems like a red hot search topic as a gamer.
Yeah.
So if you're into top-down shooting stuff, go ahead. I think take a look at this.
Just by judging these thumbnails, my advice to you, because it seems like what you're doing is working. I do struggle to give you some kind of actionable advice. I always try. In this case, I would say your competition is trying at least to make their thumbnails have something big in there to make it seem, clickable. Like your latest video, it's really hard to tell what's going on in there. I know something is, but you might just want to take a character and do something. Even if you kind of make it yourself, take the time to draw your own version of the character and stick it right in people's face, because I think that would make them even more clickable. But what you are doing is obviously working very well.
Yeah, I would say maybe a little bit of a rebrand might be needed. Because really you're a brains.io gaming channel. You're not really choosing like a particular game to play, splitter. So I think if you're going to continue to go down this path, which I think you should, certainly do. Yeah, mostly that so far. And I guess if you did, the channel's doing really well. And maybe in 6 months or a year's time, they have a challenge of maybe how do they pivot. And I guess the way to do that, Dan, would be something where you're comparing this to a similar game. So it might be the way you have a brains.io versus survive.io, and that might be your gateway into these different games, might it? Because you said in your excellent video on VidIQ about if you are going to have multiple games, make sure that the genres are connected so that the audience who's watching would naturally gravitate towards that next game in the series, in the genre area.
Yeah. Because those Call of Duty videos there did not do well compared to the brain. There we go. So even though we did a similar shooting game, it's first-person shooter, really complex.
needs a high-end machine to play it versus Brains.io, which is accessible to all. It can be played on any device, really, with those somewhat possible barriers to entry between one game versus another. Might be there as well.
Yeah. I was going to say, let's look at the home page real quick, because
Sure.
I like Travis's idea. We should be getting into the habit of doing that. So we're not subscribed, and there's no channel trailer. That could be a fun opportunity to just edit together like a 3-minute, hot sizzle reel of some of your best moments in Brains.io. Really, really buy into the fact that this is your niche, and you're doing really well with it.
Yep. Cool. Awesome. Congratulations, Splitter, on the success of your channel already. And to everybody who's submitted their channels so far, what we're going to do now is the random choosing of channel audits. And this is roughly how it works. We're going to go to our list here, which has 352 submissions already, which is always a wow moment. We can never quite believe how many people submit their channels every single week. We've audited about 12 so far, so apologies, we're not going to get through every single one, but that's of course why we have the channel audit tool within the VidIQ software, which we showed you earlier on. This is how it works from now on. We have 352 channels. Travis, we have a new magic random selector this week, and it is the Magic 8 Ball.
Like it.
All right, so what we do is we put 352 in here, click set, and then it's going to say 251. We take that number, we tap it into this system here, which means that we get the link for this channel, which is a gaming channel, as is often the case, and we paste it in to this area here. And whoa, that's a live chat.
We were tricked.
Let's try that again. Let me get the right link. Let's see this time if it's not going to put a live
The gaming channel was within us all the time.
I broke the seventh wall on that one. All right, Rigueramma. You're one better than having a generic channel banner, and in that you have no channel banner. You have nearly 30 subscribers. You've been on YouTube for a couple of months, and it looks as if you're doing free sale games to a point where you're doing a bit of Clash Royale. There's also a bit of Brawl Stars at the bottom there, but we seem to be jumping games a little bit here, and it's a foreign language channel as well, which makes it a little bit more difficult for us to look at the titles and the SEO. I think we would usually just recommend the standard things here, wouldn't we? In that, don't cover 6 to 7 games, as we just looked at with Brains.io, that channel splitter. Really focusing on that one channel for a period of time has really proven to be successful for them, and I would suggest that for this channel as well. And also in terms of the thumbnails, they don't really tell me anything about what's going on. I know there's a language barrier here, but I always say that channels, their thumbnails should be universal in language. For example, I know in this one, the Brawl Stars one, it has something to do about playing football within a game of Brawl Stars, which I think is one of the mini games. I get that, but with the rest of them, I couldn't really tell you what's going on, so that would be my feedback about that. Dan, any other extra thoughts here for the channel?
Yeah, that would be mine as well. When I see this variety of games, I can only assume that maybe you're kind of testing things out. You're trying to see which game may be the one for you, maybe which just take off. One thing I've noticed about mobile game channels in particular is I've seen some do really well when they cover some of the microtransaction content added to the game.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people who might wonder, should I spend my money on that? And you can always be that person if you're going to stick to mobile games. Yeah. Just one generic suggestion for you. But yeah, you kind of covered it in every other way that I was going to, for sure.
All right then, let's pick another channel, and hopefully we can get one that can get Travis involved. 332. No, we want a wrestling channel. That's what we want, Travis, isn't it? And then we can talk about Royal Rumble for the next half an hour. Let's see what this one is about. It is Better Mental Health with Natural Remedies, telling us exactly what the channel is about. Travis, I'm going to let you go to town on this one.
All right. There's a lot going on here.
There is a lot going on. Yeah, the brain is a complex thing, and you tried to tell us everything in your channel banner.
You sure did. So maybe simplifying that might be a good first step. So better mental health for natural remedies is, you're basically trying to help people with natural remedies. And a lot of people who are looking for that solution aren't necessarily super like wanting to read a whole bunch. They want kind of answers. So in the channel banner, I would definitely simplify. Now, as far as thumbnails go, some are obviously just kind of screen grabs with just a picture over top, which isn't necessarily bad. And in some ways, kind of works. Titling seems okay. Rebalance bipolar. I mean, I guess the one thing is you want to think about at your channel size that you are pretty much only going to be able to be found by search. You're not really large enough to be found by like browse or anything like that yet. So you're going to have to go real search heavy with your titling. So looking up things that people would be searching for. Some people will, I guess when you become a creator, like your mindset changes. And really, if you think back to what it's like to be a viewer, this becomes a lot easier than you might think. So for example, it says how lithium treats the brain. That's not a bad title, but what you really should be doing is starting with the search bar and putting in what you would want to know if you were a person looking for this information. So, for example, let's see, one of these would be like healing mental health problems. So I probably wouldn't put in the search bar healing mental health problems. I might put it something like how to get better, how to improve my mental health might be something I would type.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, as soon as I stop there, as soon as I go improve mental, there it is right there. So that means that autofill means that's what people are typing. And then here's your thumbnails to kind of compare against. So this sort of thing is what you should be doing. Think as the person viewing what they're going to type and then use that as your title. And then that is your SEO. I mean, that's really where your SEO comes from, because especially if you have our tool plugged in, it's going to tell you how many people are actually looking for that and what the competition is. But start there. Don't start as the creator trying to come up with a title. Start as the viewer and think about what someone would type into the search bar to try to find that content.
There's some positive things I'm seeing from this channel. Again, 15 videos or less, 200 subscribers, but the view counts are really impressive for me. Well above your subscriber count. So there is already something going right with the keywords I think that you're using. And I think, this is my guesses, but I think what you're offering here is really detailed. And it might be potentially academic or very educational. It'll help students and whatnot. And people who wanted to find out more information about this. But I feel as if you're providing something unique here, and I think it's in the delivery of your content. Because when I look at the likes and dislikes, they're pretty strong as well for the number of views you have. So calls to action, I think, getting people to subscribe. You're already looking at a couple of things here, like you got 2 videos on lithium. So 3 videos actually on lithium. So you already got some little niche areas that you're focusing down on as well. I think my suggestion might be is you've got like what looks to be professionally shot channel avatar image, and it may be that you want to do like a couple of stock headshots for you to place on the thumbnails, because as Travis said, you're like mid-conversation in a lot of these, so that might help. But I also noticed that you just tried using this cartoon image as your full thumbnail in the last one, and that seems to have just improved a little bit your view counts from what you've done before. So I like that you're testing. I mean, the ones down here with bright blue, massive amount of text, those were really a bit too heavy. But so there is some simplifying going on already. So I think there's some good stuff here I think the channel. You've already started to simplify your thumbnails, and I think if you just continue to simplify the messaging in selling it to a viewer, yes, but I would suspect that the content is actually doing really well, and I would assume that you're getting pretty high audience retention on these videos, and that must be the reason why they're being shared out to an audience wider than your subscriber base. So some good areas of growth here for a relatively new channel to YouTube. Yeah. Let's go back to the magic ball. Sorry, was somebody going to say something extra then? Are we done? No, okay, we'll go to the next channel, which is this one, and it is, hey, here we go. I think we've already done this channel, Travis. I think we've audited this channel so many times before. It's a wrestling channel. But I guess it doesn't hurt to quickly look at the channel again. Oh, the thumbnails look
I don't
different.
specifically remember this one.
Neither do I, actually. Okay, so just to give you a bit of a heads up, Travis and I are wrestling fans. I'm a lapsed wrestling fan, so I kind of dip in and out of it. I like to follow the older stuff. Travis, you're the same, would you say?
Yeah.
We kind of know what's going on. So we know that the Royal Rumble was on recently. Let's start with then the channel size, 7,500 subscribers. Huge view counts on some of these. And what's always good is if you're following the good thing about wrestling. So try and think of it's not for when I'm talking to folks here that aren't interested in wrestling, try and put this into the context of your topic. The good thing about wrestling is that there's a lot of events that are going on all of the time. In wrestling, there is like a big, what's called a pay-per-view event where all of the best characters come together for, I call it, I call it body contact, a gymnastic soap opera. That's what I call wrestling. And so they come together every month for wrestling matches, and even though it is scripted, I know some people may find that shocking, and it is predetermined, you have to think of it like a soap opera. So you don't know what the outcome is. So a lot of channels look at these like predictions and what's going to happen and where each storyline may go. Just think of it as a male soap opera for a specific demographic, and that allows you to do predictions and that type of thing. And that's what this channel is really successful at, making predictions on what's going to go on for the Survivor Series and then Royal Rumble. So they're tapping into the trends of that particular niche when they go on. They could probably capitalize and do like the aftermath, or what's going to be coming following these events and where these storylines may go after the episodes, because I think the creator's missing an opportunity there. And also the creator's not created much content in the last couple of months.
And that's they've
only done 3 videos. Yeah, go ahead, Travis.
In the last couple of days alone could have like really blown up some stuff. So many things happened on Royal Rumble, and really a missed opportunity at this point, because by the time they would put a video, unless they put it out today, so much would have changed. So yeah, I wonder what happened over the last month. Like what's been the long kind of layoff, and with wrestling you kind of have to be on top of it all the time. So yeah, that would be the main thing. I think the thumbnails are great. Some of the text is
fantastic thumbnails. Absolutely.
Yeah, and they're very much in line with other wrestling websites. So I'm totally like okay with what I'm seeing here. It looks like they've tried different thumbnail styles. Yeah,
it looks as if they wanted more text previously, and now they kind of go more on the focus on the wrestling superstar, and then maybe a text, yes, but less text. And it's big and bright, and it's easily readable, so I haven't got too much of an issue with the text there. But yeah, we're moving into the biggest, I mean, it's the road to WrestleMania, as they call it now, like 60 days away. Yeah. You need to be cranking out the content as much as possible. All it needs is one of your videos to go viral, get like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of views, and you're set up for that route into WrestleMania. So yeah, Dan, thoughts on wrestling? Sports. Okay, we'll move on to the next channel, which is 266. What do we got here? It's a music channel, I think. 8 Tunes World, I think. Let's have a look. See. No music, no life. And this is a channel that's, let's see, is it creating cover versions? Is this free audio to use? Yeah, and what is 8D audio?
So I'm going to listen to this channel after the fact, after we're done. Obviously, there is copyrighted music here, so we don't want to play it. But 8D music.
2 different languages here in the About section.
Put your headphones on, listen to 8D effect.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to try this after the live stream. I want to see what this 8D effect is. But the problem is, like, I mean, I don't know. Is 8D a thing? Look up 8D music. Is that something that people know about? 8D audio? Because he has everything.
Hey Alexa, I'm going to turn on everybody's Alexas right now. Hey Alexa, what does 8D music mean? If anybody gets an answer, let us know in the chat. Hey Google, delete my YouTube channel.
Yeah, no, there is. So that's interesting. Please wear headphones. Yeah, so it's a thing. I've never heard of this. This sounds cool. I'm really, really curious.
It looks as if it's been around for maybe a year or 2 years. Okay. So back to this channel, what is it about? Is it just 8D music? Is it some variant of ASMR? Is this, okay, so Justin Bieber, so I'm guessing it's cover versions or like,
or it's a surround version of music.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
But I do want to check that out after the live stream. I'm just very curious as to what that sounds like. So I will do that. But it's kind of difficult to give advice, because really at this point it's just a search grab. So thumbnails are, I mean, they're okay. Probably could, if you're going to use music that's like Eminem's. Going to, by the way, we're going to 12:30. We're going to 1.
Yeah, in 15 minutes. Right. Okay. Hopefully this is coming back on now. Sorry, folks. We're just seeing if we can get this back up and running.
Coming back.
We're on.
Are we good? Okay. Sorry, folks. 8-dimensional music broke our internets. What were we talking about? Yeah. So I have a really confused look at this. Is this just all copyrighted content? I don't know. It would help in the about section if that was explained. I was just sort of by most popular because is there a particular genre that people are coming to your content for? I don't know. And yeah, there's too many unanswered questions to really give you advice here. I guess the one thing you could do is something my default recommendation is, have you got a 24-hour live stream running of 8D audio? Has anybody, let's do a search for that. 8D audio, not 8 audio. 8S audio. I'm trying to create a new style of music now. 8D audio. If we filter by live, is anybody currently running 8D audio live? So no. I mean, it's the usual suspects at the top here. So maybe there's an opportunity for somebody to create a 24/7 8D audio music live stream channel for that type of thing. That would generally be what I could suggest for you. But yeah, I just don't know about the copyright issue. I'm worried about that. I'm wondering if 8D music changes the audio waves so much that YouTube can't auto-detect it. I'm completely... I have no knowledge of this, so I apologise if we're misinterpreting that. Let's move on to another channel where maybe we can offer some better advice. That is 65. Okay. Oh, this looks familiar. Prepping. We audited a prepping channel very recently, Travis, I seem to remember. A plant-based... is it the same? Maybe not.
This looks different.
It certainly looks different. Okay. Plant-based homestead prepper. We make prepping fun. Tell us when your videos are... Okay, my first challenge for you is to get rid of as much of this text as possible and try and communicate what you do through images. If you're preparing plants, which is what I think the channel is in some case, I don't know.
4 videos in one day.
Prepping, a great review for seasoned preppers. We've just jumped from one topic to another topic that I'm really unfamiliar with. Is this where you're preparing for potential disasters and things? Is that what they mean by a prepping channel?
That's what I interpret it as, but this looks like a vlogging channel, I think.
Yeah. Oh.
What is that?
What on earth is that?
I think
that was my mistake. Sorry, I was I was routing
You're
stuff
muted.
through my
You're back. Okay. Right. Sorry. Where were we?
I think it's a vlogging channel, and perhaps they talk about prepping, but it looks to me like they're trying to grab a lot of search terms like that anyone would be searching for, like Kobe Bryant, coronavirus. And to me, just off the bat, I don't know if the channel focus is quite there when I see stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And
scrolling through,
the views seem to get about 100 per video, I think, pretty consistently until we get down to these older ones.
I think I'm gonna say this for the creator. You have 600 subscribers, but the views generally aren't reflecting that audience base, and they're really spiky. Sometimes 200, sometimes 21. Let's just sort by most popular. Is a theme that you once had which was doing well. So yeah, I think when you were actually sticking to your topic, which was, I think, preparing, I think that's what prepping means, when you're preparing for potential disasters, or like having like emergency kits and food stocked up. it looks like you're on a trend of doing some pretty consistent content here, which your audience was reacting well to. And the thumbnails are pretty good here, like just empty shelves or like really nice succulent food. That's where your core of your content is going to be. The moment you start jumping from topic to topic to topic like you're doing now, it's the audience is sort of looking up, down, left, right and trying to work out where on earth this channel is going. If you want to do all of this stuff, fine, create a separate opinion-based channel, I think, if you want to try and do this. Even if you jump on one of these trending topics and you're really successful with it, where does the channel go after that? And I think going back to what you were doing, which was building an audience through the prepping stuff, that's where it was really working out. So I would create 20 to 30% of the content you're doing right now, because as you know, people have noticed here, 3 videos, 4 videos in the last 24, 5 videos in the last 24 hours, 20, 30 videos in the last week, simplify things a little bit, and less familiar thumbnails, I would say. Are we agreeing on that, folks? Yeah.
I think it looks like you really got interested in talking about some current events, which is fine, but it would have really been better, I think, to start a new channel, because this is night and day compared to the thumbnails of your most popular videos. Yeah,
it's like I'm scrolling through and I'm just seeing 20 views, 30 views, and then occasionally we'll have one of these food shortages, prepping that, and it gets maybe a few hundred views or 1,000 views. So definitely sticking to one topic for your channel. Shall we do another Twitter selection?
Yes, I saw one I really liked.
Okay, Dan's. Have you already picked one, Dan? Or
I did pick one.
Okay, well, let's have a look at it now.
I'll tell you when.
I've got to. I mean, again, if you're going to do 1980s movies references, hello.
That's a good one.
Well, we might have to do
I just want to have a
actually.
full screen of that. There we go, folks. We're leaving that on screen for the next two minutes. In fact, you need to like this video, this live stream 50 times right now. I know this is metric manipulation, but if you do not like this 50 times now, I'm leaving this on screen. I actually do have like a Superman compression top as well that I wear sometimes, but I look nothing like that. Also, old image, we need to add a beard on there as well. That would help. Sorry, Dan, which was the one that you loved?
Desktop background.
Desktop background, there we go. And they're trying to pull on my Jasper heartstrings there.
Scrolling just a little bit more. I saw it. And this Mario one, watch this is the best.
The cat? Oh, that's funny.
Wait for it. That was my pick.
We gotta watch that though. We go, there he goes. All right, let's audit this channel. I think we'll have to do the Superman one after that as well, the Super Rob. All right, VG Level Up Gaming, you have 40 subscribers. Minecrafty again. We're looking at here.
Did we audit this one?
I don't think so. Not today. Are you getting deja vu? This is the first time you're getting deja vu. If you have done,
well, that should tell you something, right?
Well, in that it feels similar to other channels.
Yeah. Well, I'm noticing a lot of Minecraft with the occasional Mario Bros. Deluxe mixed in there, which is an interesting pivot.
I'm also noticing episode numbers. So again, we've talked about that a lot today. And also when you're looking at the games, you're not actually including Minecraft in the search in the title. So you may be losing a little potential search intent there.
I see a cake in the thumbnail, but not in the, you don't mention cake in the title. So that's also kind of interesting too. Because it kind of takes away, like, I have no idea what the video is about because the thumbnail and the title don't really talk, to each other at all. Yeah.
So as an example here, stealing from my friends for some advancements. I just think including Minecraft survival in there or something just to make sure that YouTube, from a very basic understanding of your content, knows what the video is about and helps serve it to a right audience.
Yeah. So some potential there would just be like stealing from my friends in Minecraft.
Yeah.
Getting rid of that little achievement banner there that's kind of hard to read. And this is just nitpicking thumbnails. You mentioned this before, Rob, but I think it might bear repeating in this case. When you get into episode 26, 27, 30 of your Minecraft series, you're basically inviting people to go back and watch from episode 1. And that's not a really great way to get people to come to the channel and check you out for the first time. I like in my gaming content like that I've been making, I've just been trying to avoid episode numbers altogether. Just even if they go into a sequence, because every video is going to be about something. Make that your title, make that your thumbnail, make your video about that thing. And then you can introduce it like this is actually the 26th episode. You can go back and watch if you want, but today we're going to make a cow farm, you know?
Yeah.
And briefly mention it. But invite those new people to watch your videos, because every video is a chance to get discovered by somebody new.
And Travis and I have had a conversation about this. I once argued that if the channel is big and well established, then I think you've got more license to do an episode series.
Agreed.
Just because you're at a point there where you have license to take your audience on a journey wherever you want to. But I just think getting bodies through the door, getting bums on seats, you want to try and make that as easy as possible. And I guess it's just not an expected thing on YouTube. You're going onto YouTube to just find something new, or you know, it's rare that you're sort of unless it's a vlogger, and vloggers. Do they ever do episode numbers? I guess that's the best way to put it, isn't it? Vloggers rarely do episode numbers because they're telling you an individual story from that particular day for that particular video. And I think it should be the same for video content. Now, having said all that, I think we're just at the point where like we're an hour and 40 in and we're not really paying attention to the good things on this channel, which are that the thumbnails are pretty good, I think. They're strong, they're vibrant. With the exception of the episode numbers, they're fairly simplistic. You're experimenting a little bit with text here and there, and we can see the evolution of the thumbnails. Like a few years ago when they were quite scrappy, there's some nice consistency there. So I think you are doing some things right there. VG,
can I point one thing out too?
Yeah.
The latest video, the second to last video you did, got more views than subscribers, and it happened to be a tutorial, automatic chicken farm. And it had Minecraft in the title. So right there is a good example of what you could be doing to draw new people in when you get the chance, you know, teach people how to make an automated chicken farm or something like that. But congrats on getting more views.
That's your go-to, sorry, thank you for cutting you off. That's your go-to advice really, isn't it? Like for gaming channels starting off new, giving value to the viewer, because it's good for search intent. And if you give something that they find useful, they may return for something else. So it's that tutorial type of content.
In your 100 subscriber video that you did recently, you pointed out something that I think speaks to gaming channels in particular too on that subject. Is you've at this point in YouTube, when you're new starting out, you haven't really built any credibility yet. Yeah. So starting off with tutorials and instructional videos is building your credibility, regardless of what your content's. You know,
love it,
gaming or not.
Okay, I said I was going to do Super Rob, so we will do that one as well. Sorry, I just got to watch this one more time. It's one of those things that you could watch for hours and hours and hours. All right, let's go back to me. Yes, I am Super Bob. All right, subscribe, turn on notifications, become a legend. That feels a little Mr. Beastie to begin with. We got 2,000 subscribers here. Travis, it's another gaming channel, but I want to get you involved a little bit on this one. So, just give us your general YouTube thoughts on this channel.
So there's looks like there's a couple games going on here. There's Robux Ninja Legends. I don't know what that is. Genesis giveaway. So they're doing a couple different games. View-wise is interesting because they're kind of in the same number-ish. Every once in a while they'll have one pop up like the Z Master. But they're generally speaking in the 300 to like 700 range for the most part. Every once in a while you'll get something that pops. But interestingly, the glitch one did well, the new Island Ninja glitch. And then what was that other one that had a couple thousand? Where is it? The Z Master giveaway. So giveaways are, first of all, it's a live stream. That's a lot of views for a live stream for someone who's at like 2,000 subscribers. That's a lot of views. Yeah. But having said that, giveaways, I'll just give you my overall kind of like blanket statement on giveaways. Just don't bother. You'll get people that come in. You'll get a bunch of people come in. They'll come for the thing. When they don't win, they will call you every name in the book and then never come back. So it's just not really worth doing for the most part, especially as a growth strategy. It's a terrible growth strategy. It just doesn't work. Now, if you want to do it for your subscribers that have been there for a long time, if you have like a group that's in the community tab or something like that, and you just know this group of people and you want to do something there, maybe you have a Discord, that's a different story to build up kind of, the existing members that are there. But as a growth strategy, it's terrible. And I noticed that they have Roblox on the sides of these thumbnails.
Yeah, on all the thumbnails.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. So they're differentiating when they're doing Roblox versus another game. So I guess my question is, if you're going to do Roblox on that, why wouldn't you do that for the other ones for different games? Like when you're doing a different type of game, why wouldn't you do that all the way around?
Yeah. Dan, any thoughts generally? Is a Ninja Island a particular thing on Roblox that the channel seems to work for the channel a bit?
I've not played Roblox. I just know enough to know that's very likely just a game within it. Yeah. And this could be another case of this creator finding that as a good niche and settling in. So, that's cool. And yeah, I did notice that too. Anytime it's Roblox, that's said in the thumbnail, which does differentiate it, which is kind of cool too.
All right. And so for next week, Dan, if you were a superhero, who would you like to be photoshopped onto?
Ant-Man.
And for Travis?
That's a really good one. Wolverine. All
right, so if you do that for next week, guys, you may have a better chance of having your channel audited. Sorry, Chunk, we won't be auditing your channel.
Lack of channel. That's a good one.
There's some really good ones here. I'm not going to lie. Some really good ones. We've got to stick to the formula a bit, because what we'll end up doing is it will, instead of the 384 submissions that we've got this week, which is incredible, we'll have 400 tweets with just memes, which I guess is no bad thing, but people will just be wondering what on earth is going on in their Twitter feeds. All right, this channel here, we'll see if we can get through this one, which is subscribe. Big time Rino. What do we think about this one? Got some Kobe stuff, WWE, Twitch moments, Conor McGregor versus Cowboy Corone, whoever that chap is, Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, reacting to your first video. There's just a lot of random stuff going on here on the channel, which I guess if you are new to YouTube, which is fine, but you've been on YouTube for quite a while now. So you should have an idea of maybe where you want to go with your content. Yeah. I think... look at it from this point of view. If a viewer visits your channel, they're going to be asking the question, why should I watch you? Why should I care about your content? And I don't think, just looking at the broad, random collection of videos, I can't work out what we should be watching. There's some also text there, which I don't want to show people. So yeah, that would be my general thoughts. Anything else here, folks?
I'm noticing a lot of live streams that were done from the PlayStation dashboard, and just straight up put on YouTube, which is that's just how it works sometimes, which is fine. But if you're going to keep that on your channel, it is like 3-4 hours long, some of these, so I don't know if people are going back and watching those. It could always help to set up your YouTube streaming settings first before going live. Get a thumbnail in there, get some proper titling and stuff, then go to your PlayStation and start streaming. But I think this channel needs to kind of sit down and strategize a bit and figure out where they want to go if they haven't already, because this is kind of all over the place. It's not even just gaming content. There seems to be just a lot going on. Yeah,
you could look at like 5 or 6 videos in a row and have no idea that these came from the same creator, which just makes it really difficult for an audience to try and associate with a particular channel. All right, I made a decision. We're gonna do one more of these, and it's this one, because I've been convinced. I'm not gonna lie, I've been convinced by this channel. So it is. Digital. I think we've audited Digital Jedi Master before, from what I remember, but we've not done them for a while. Okay, so view objectively, subjectively, subscribe effectively, watch everything. I'm guessing it's about Star Wars because of the animation, the animated guy with a lightsaber there. Now then, let's have a look. Jedi reacts to Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker. You haven't done any content for a while. And you did some reactions to The Mandalorian, but I guess I would just be saying, do more. Don't just try it once, because sometimes with this type of trending content, it sometimes takes a couple of efforts to bash at that particular keyword before YouTube decides that you're good. And I think you may be losing out a bit here on putting Jedi reacts. I think maybe the reaction element of a title may help later on, because if you're just saying that you're reacting to something, like the the final trailer. Maybe some sort of opinion might be in there as well, like terrible, something as simple as that, or encouraged, or didn't expect that. Just something with a bit of intrigue to maybe convince me to click onto the thumbnail. Dan, Travis, any other thoughts coming in here?
Yeah, I think since there's a lot of Star Wars content, one thing I've noticed with Star Wars right now is, Baby Yoda, even though Mandalorian is now concluded for this season, there's still a lot of people, kind of milking that content. Perhaps you could jump on that bandwagon. I noticed some Star Trek too, though, a little bit. But yeah, I like the colors and everything in the thumbnails.
Yeah, the thumbnails are pretty strong.
Individually eye-catching.
Not enough, just not enough content generally as well. It maybe you got a bit fatigued with YouTube, or you just don't have a time. It feels like you're doing a video every 2-3 weeks, maybe. Travis, any final thoughts there?
Yeah, no, I think you guys covered it. Star Wars is it's in a weird place right now because Mandalorian is on break and the movies themselves are kind of in a weird place. We've just kind of finished a trilogy, so it's a weird place to be. But there's a lot of videos right now about the Last Jedi. What is that? The Return of the Sky. What was the last movie? Just
Rise of a Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker. Like, there's a lot of like behind the scenes stuff that is. I've watched a couple of videos on them. That's just really compelling stuff. So if you want to talk about that and cover that, then there's definitely views to be had in that.
All right, and that brings to an end. Oh, sorry, my screen just froze for a second. Let's try it again. That brings to an end another session of Tuesday Channel Audit live streams. We will apologise, of course, for the slight technical error that we had there for a moment as we were doing a live stream, but we managed to get back in there. Thank you for everybody who has contributed. I'm just going to check the dashboard here to see if we have any super chats. I don't think we had any more super chats, so thank you to everybody who gave us those super chats throughout today's live stream. Of course, if you enjoyed this live stream, we really do appreciate when you subscribe to the channel, of course, and like it. And if you can think of another video creator who would find this type of live streaming useful, then please do share it with them. And of course, we have all of our VidIQ tools and the VidIQ Academy that can help support you to grow your channel when Travis, Dan and myself are not live streaming. Travis, I will let you do some shout-outs first since you were second.
Sure. Josephine's in the house. Good to see you. 3411 Heaven Media. Tish is in there. Good to see you. Amazing Every Day. Brendan. Venom Viper Gaming. It's Exploring with Riley. Snappy Please. XD, seen them are all around the live stream. And Zach E.
How's the new pad, Travis? It looks very clean and nice, by the way. Very nice.
It's quite nice. I had some people clean it while we were doing the live stream. Awesome.
Dan, who else are we saying goodbye to?
Pretty much everybody.
Is that your get out of jail?
Drago Plays.
Bye, everyone.
Jeffrey, Digital Caster. Oh boy. The same people, same like 6 people who just keep saying bye over and over. Icicle, Drago Plays again. Abby's. Gone. Penny, Top Tens, Luke's Marbles, excuse me, Pay to Win, Icicle, Johnny IT, Kyle BTW. Go for it.
The most important person in the live stream chat is, of course, the artist Heaven, who just moderates every single thing that we do here on vidIQ, and it is greatly appreciated. We are saying goodbye to the following people. Everybody 666. Everybody is also there. Now we're actually saying goodbye to Courts, Brendan Walters, Islamic Media, Bengali Waz, I think is the name there, Pay to Win, Bork, Black, Chinese Gaming, Bacon X, Apple O. Folks, time is the most important currency in the YouTube platform, in my personal opinion, and you just spent the last near 2 hours with you. We hope we gave you as much value as we possibly can. Remember to do the same with your audience. Dan, you're on screen with me, so wave awkwardly until I see us out on a live stream. We'll see you all tomorrow and next week. Bye for now. Oh, who is that, Dan, by the way?
That's cat. The cat.
What's the cat called?
Annoying.
Sorry, we're going off topic here, but can you get one of those things from the Mario 64 and just flip it somewhere for us? Can you do that?
That would get me bit.